Oh, what's good, man? What's good with the people? Um, I definitely wanted to get on here and like just because I seen some people didn't watch the whole video. That's why I made sure to put at the beginning. Y'all gotta watch the whole thing. You feel what I'm saying? Because what I was getting to was the fact that I've been thinking about this for a long time. You feel what I'm saying? There's a few things I didn't really get to. I didn't write a script. I didn't put a script together. Like I really just went in there and made the video. But some people are confused. Some people ain't really, you know what I mean? So I just want to come up here and clear a couple things up um before we, you know what I'm saying, move forward. Hey, shout out to my boy Mike. Shout out to Diamond Dozen. What up? Shout out to Jassy. What up? Black Diamond. Nazir James Beats. You still making the same type of content. Now, this is the type of stuff that I wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? I wanted to talk about a few things before we move forward. Shout out to Sharon, Blaze, Jazzy Fitness, Tim White, Spot the Dot, Rob. What's good, man? He said you had cats crying in the comments. Nah, because this is the truth, bro. I was gonna delete the channel, like real shit. And because I get into this like oh Dartman, you tapped in. I ain't even announced the track yet. You a real one. You tapped in. It is new music out right now. You tapped in. Okay? That's real. But I got a music video coming in 50 minutes with that track. So, but look, really, in my mind, I'm like, I gotta delete the channel because it's like I be on this all or nothing mindset sometimes, right? Where it's like it's either all the way this way or it's all the way that way. So I was in a mindset of like to reclaim that, I gotta delete the whole channel. You feel what I'm saying? That was my real perspective. Like, I gotta delete the whole channel. And y'all probably didn't know, but I had been thinking about like that video was supposed to come out in like September, October of last year, right? I actually made it one of my goals in my in the program that the leadership program that y'all see me post about, right? It was one of the goals that I had was to change my name, right, across all platforms and leave Jalopy Bungus behind. But bro, I had so much fear. Like, I can't even lie. I had so much fear surrounded around doing that I just couldn't do it. Like, every day I would wake up like, all right, today's the day I'm gonna do the video. Not every day, but every other day I wake up like, all right, today's the day where I make that change. Today's the day where I do it. And I didn't. And I couldn't do it because it had been so many years. We talking about I done had this rap name since I was like 15, bruh. Like, I didn't start taking music serious, or I didn't become a content creator till later, but I literally had taken, like, that name had been with me since I was young. You see what I'm saying? But there was never no intention behind the name. There was never no reason. There was never no vision behind the name. So it's like, it was hard to let that go, which is another thing that I struggle with, which is letting go. So it was really hard to let that go and move forward and step into the new timeline, right? And he said, wait, what, you wasn't retired? Diego, you ain't watched the whole video, fool. That's why I said in the very beginning of the video, watch the whole video. Okay? I do gotta change the Cash App tag. Hold on, my fault. But that's the whole thing, is like, if you, for the people who didn't watch the whole video, okay, what the video was about was essentially I'm leading you down this timeline of my thought process of why I'm changing my name to my actual name. And I tell you at the end of the video, he said, you got to change your Spotify too. Nah, the Spotify's gone. I'm not using that Spotify no more. We back on SoundCloud for now. We're going back to the roots, because in reality, I would have never, if I was being authentic to me, I would have never got on streaming. Real shit. I remember when Spotify and boom, boom, you go to my Jalopy Bungus Spotify, SoundCloud, that's where I was uploading everything. The only reason that I went is because I felt like I had to, right? But in reality, if I really had did what I wanted to do at that time, I would have kept building on SoundCloud. That's reality. Now, of course, I would have had to go to Spotify at some point, but that's just my truth. I would have kept building my audience on SoundCloud. And that's just another proof of just doing things that are in line with what I want to do. Thinking that I got to do that. Thinking that it just makes sense to do that. Thinking that all these different things. So he said, yo, just so you know, without Saul persecuting, he never would have became Paul. I actually got a video. Hey, Nikki, I got a video coming out on Sunday about that specifically, connecting that to this. You feel what I'm saying? I've been at Bible study and shit, and we've been going over Paul and how he used to persecute the Christians and all that shit. So I really wanted to do more. I really want to get to one thing I really always wanted to do was just do Sunday videos, not connected to hip hop, not connected to nothing, but just do Sunday videos. And that's it. But I felt like I couldn't do that. And it's crazy because nobody fucking told me I couldn't do that. Nobody told me I couldn't do that. And that's such like that's such proof of like these rules and these stipulations we put on ourselves for no fucking reason. For no reason. You feel me? So it's like there's certain things I always wanted to do on this channel that I never did because I felt like I couldn't do it. But it's like, did my audience tell me I couldn't do it? No, it's the people who love my content didn't tell me to stop making the Sunday videos. It was the haters. You feel me? So, and nobody told me I couldn't do none of that. And I think about that and I'm like, I can't just break that down to the content. That would be irresponsible to say, oh, it's just the content space that's making me feel like this. No, like, where else does this show up in my life? If it's showing up here, it's showing up in my life. That's reality. That's reality. If it's showing up in one place, it's showing up in other places. And that's one thing we got to recognize. Somebody earlier this is my real name, Jessahn Amaru Abernathy. That's my real name. That's my actual government name, the name that my mother gave me. So, my whole thing is, somebody asked if I'm doing the same type of content. Of course I am. But it's just gonna be fruitful, right? And that's what, thank you, I appreciate that. And that's what I was trying to say in the video. If I'm being completely honest with y'all, the content that I was creating at one point, it just became strictly criticism. Now, that's not to say like I'm mad at anybody or like it's wrong to no, because in this world, we in a fallen world. So there's certain things that wouldn't happen in a world that wasn't fallen that we get to do in order to protect what we love and protect what we appreciate. So the criticism, which I don't think is holy, and really the criticism is really doing damage to you as well, right? When you really think about it. The criticism is still necessary, however, because we are in the fallen world and we got to do certain things to protect what we love. If it takes criticism and pushing against propaganda in order to protect this genre and protect the narrative around this genre, sometimes you got to be what you don't want to be to make that happen. So don't get that confused. I'm not going to stop criticizing. However, there gets to be fruit in the criticism. I don't get to just turn the video on, criticize niggas, and turn the video off. Who is that helping? What is that? That's not doing nothing. That's not giving y'all nothing. That's not giving me nothing. And in reality, I can humanize the person that I'm criticizing. That's fruit. That's giving real fruit, like prosperous fruit to people who are watching. If you watch me humanize and you can see me humanize somebody that I'm criticizing, Not saying that you don't do it, but imagine what you could do with that. Imagine you seeing that and being like, that is possible. Or even somebody in your life, you might be able to see something in the person I'm criticizing in yourself or somebody in your life, and then work through that or to process that. Like, these are the things that got to be in my mind, right? Because the vision for this channel was spiritual growth, just overall elevation, whatever I could do, whether that means sharing a piece of myself to connect with you, or whatever, right? Just some form of elevation. That was the point of this channel. And at some point it got away from that, right? And I'm not saying it got away from that entirely, but the back and forth shit, it can't, that it's you gotta be, you're either aligned or you're not. So my whole thing is, yes, the content not gonna change, but the vision is gonna come first. The vision always has to come first. What did I visualize when I made this channel? So when every video that I make, it don't matter what I'm making it on, that comes first, and that will alter how I make that video. So really think about it like this, right? Jalopy Bungus had no intention behind it. It doesn't mean anything. There was no purpose. There was no nothing, right? So think about it like this. Why wouldn't the things that come from that name be purposeless? And that might be a little too extra, but that's how I feel, right? If the Jalopy Bungus order has no purpose, has nothing behind it, had no vision, why wouldn't the things that are being created from that have no vision? Right, it's a character, right? It's just a piece of who I am, right? It's a piece of what it was when I created it, and then enabling that through what I'm giving in my content, in my music, etc. Right? On the flip side, if I'm using a name that is my name, that was given to me by God, because my mom told me she had a dream about my name, right? I don't know, she could be capping, but that's what she told me. If my name was given to my mom to give to me, right? There's already purpose in that name. I don't have to do anything. You see what I'm saying? So from that perspective, it's like, now all I get to do is just follow the timeline, follow where God is taking me. That's it. That's way easier than following me. That's way easier than following me. I don't got it. Like, and I mean, I don't got it. like, I don't got it. That's just real. I don't got it. I don't got nothing without the guidance of what I believe in. And I'm not saying anybody else got to believe in what I believe in, because that's not my, I don't think that's my relationship with y'all. It's not my job to, or it's not what I'm supposed to tell you to believe in whatever. But I know that, and I'm understanding, and I'm saying it humbly. And it's crazy because, like, I know it's real, because a part of me feels like it hurts a little bit. Like it feels like extremely humbling every time I come to this conclusion. But I really don't got anything. Like, I don't got the answers. I don't got I don't got anything, bro. Like, in reality, when I felt the most aligned and when I felt the most in tune with who I was, and I was aligned in my purpose, and I was constantly taking steps to make that happen, I surrendered. I was in a state of surrender, right? So I'm understanding now, I constantly get to be in the state of surrender. And when I'm not in the state of surrender, to wake myself up and be the observer, because that's what I am. I'm the observer. Whenever I have these thoughts, I'm observing these thoughts. I'm observing this, right? I get to be the observer and say, no, surrender, right? Now, that don't mean like, wake up every day with no purpose and no, the structure is important too. That's the human part. That's the physical aspect. I get to create the structure. Okay, I know where God is taking me, but now I get to create the physical structure to make that happen. Right? So that's what it's about. Now, there are a lot of people that felt like I was literally retiring and quitting YouTube. No, I'm not quitting YouTube. I felt like I was, and I felt like I should have at one point, and I feel like that was my boy Josh Cabaz in here. What's good, boy? I felt like that was necessary. That's something I needed to do, but it isn't. In reality, it would be a stronger testimony to leave everything on this page that I'm not proud of, right? That I look back at and I'm like, right? Because there's some things I like, there's some things I didn't like in the old content and whatever. The things that I'm not proud of are the criticisms without the fruit. That's what I'm not proud of. The criticism without the fruit. Right? Like, and this why I'm gonna say this, man. This is gonna sound crazy, but it's true, man. This why I owe, even in my perspective, I owe a real authentic perspective and take on the whole J. Cole shit. Right? It's not that I agree, and I still think J. Cole wrong as a motherfucker, because on multiple levels. For the statements about hip-hop, how battling hip-hop is a problem, all these different things that J. Cole did that I criticize him for. But even in my lives, there were moments where I was talking about, no, I told the truth about Cole. I told you how I really felt about Cole, but I didn't tell you how I felt all the way. I only told y'all that in pieces. That's the truth. How I really feel about J. Cole is that J. Cole is probably experiencing the same shit, right? In that battle, or in where he's going boom, boom, right? You can see in these moments where, and I've said it in my lives before, but I never made videos on it. It's just on the lives, where you can see that there's this spiritual aspect of what Cole is going through, right? And he won't allow himself to step into him. Drake is experiencing the same shit. They're being pulled backwards because they won't allow themselves to let go and go forward. Right? Like, still trying to rewrite narratives on a battle, boom, boom, all this different stuff. Imagine the type of fruitful content I could have gave y'all with that perspective. Imagine the type of real, humanizing, thoughtful content I could have given y'all with that perspective. It's not to excuse what Drake and J. Cole is doing, but it's to use J. Cole as the celebrity that he is, as the cautionary tale, or as in a deeper dive into the human spiritual experience. Like, that's what I'm talking about as far as the purpose of the channel got lost. Because if the purpose of the channel didn't get lost, y'all still would have got them type of videos. Right. Exactly, Diego. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I get to go there all the time. Now, of course, that don't mean every video got to be hella deep and boom, boom. But when I do go criticize somebody, the least I can do is give y'all fruit. That's all I'm saying. It is not conducive to your spirit and your well-being and your mental to simply criticize. That's the truth. As a matter of fact, I was at a sermon last Sunday, and in the last few weeks, I mean, ever since I stopped smoking weed, like, everything been getting more clear, boom, boom. But really, the last few weeks into a month, you know, I've been leaning into getting ready to get baptized, all this different stuff. And I'm like, when I went to go see that sermon, they were going over Romans, right? They were going over Romans. And one of the things that I took away from that whole process was, right, Diego, yeah, it was, yeah, exactly. But as I was going through and listening to this preacher, the one thing they kept talking about was just like things that are disputable, right? How, you know, we do put so much energy into going back and forth over things that are disputable. That's our human nature. But on top of that, it's the judgment and the criticism, bro. Like, to just make videos on J. Cole just full of judgment, just full of criticism, and then turn the video off, that's not good. Like, fuck, I'm not one of the person that's like, if I do this, I'm going to hell. I don't, my relationship with God is genuine. Like, I'm not fearful of hell. I'm not fearful of none of that. But I do know that the Bible is the key in my reality to spiritual growth, spiritual wellness, the balance of physical and spirit. Like, it gives you the keys to all these things. And I think one of the main things it talks about is that judgment and criticism with, like, and how it goes against your spirit and how it goes against your body. You feel me? Now, the thing is, we're in the fallen world. So I have to criticize because I love this genre, and I'm not going to allow them to do, you know, I'm not saying I'm this big difference maker, but I'm not going to allow them to do what they did to jazz, what they did to country while I'm alive and I have a voice. That's not going to happen. So I got to take that L. However, the least I can fucking do to balance that is give y'all fruit, give y'all perspective, and humanize the person that I'm criticizing simultaneously. That's the least I can do. I can't take back none of the stuff that I said or none of the stuff about any of those artists or any boom boom. And honestly, it's not that I regret my stance. I regret my delivery. That's what it is. I don't regret my stance. I regret how I delivered it. And then it's like, there's another thing, right? I'm talking, look, this, I'm gonna get real vulnerable with y'all. I'm talking all this shit about hip hop, all this shit about artists and all this different shit. What am I dropping? What am I putting out? I'm not putting out a lot. The best way to participate and live in this nuance is be the fucking artist. But the thing is, if I'm not aligned with Jalopy Bungus, how am I supposed to be aligned with the music? There's a disconnect. Jalopy Bungus is not who I am. So how am I supposed to make authentic music and feel comfortable putting it out behind a character? You see what I'm saying? So, and I want to go back to this statement. Shout out from an Afro-Peruvian, land of the original Tupac Amaru. Afeni knew the weight of that name, Amaru, the leadership. Wear it with honor and keep under your using your voice for the better good. Hey, I appreciate that. Real talk. And yeah, I definitely get to see why my mom said that too. Are you doing this to backtrack on the stuff so you can continue to make money by listening to Iceman? No, I will not be listening to Iceman. I won't be streaming Iceman. I won't be doing none of that. So it's not that, oh, we going back on boom, boom, and all this different stuff. No, that's still violation. That in my mind, that's still, I'm not going to listen to somebody who, now, let me put it like this. Do I think that that's aligned with my judgment? Yes. But the pride in me as a human being that I'm a human. So these are the flaws that I have. It will not allow me to take that back. I'm not taking that back. The same way I know criticism is wrong and judgment is not the way to go, I will not stop if it means that we pushing back against propaganda and we protecting the genre. Those are the human physical L's that I get to take. See what I'm saying? So, that's the whole thing. So my whole thing is I'm not gonna listen to that album. I'm not gonna play it. I don't give a fuck about the money. Real shit. I have an abundance mindset. So there won't be a need to do that when I know I can go get the money in a different way. And there's other things to talk about. What about my music? Right? I can just drop music during this time where I'm not talking about that shit. Right? Like there's a bunch of things that could be done. That album doesn't change anything in my reality. Right, nothing to take back. Criticism was warranted and based on facts. Real shit. I'm not mad about none. I'm not, like I said, it's the delivery. That's all. That's all. Because think about it. And I'm not one of those people. He said, Jalopy, where's the unreleased album you let us hear? We getting closer, bro. But I think in reality, it's like, do I have genuine hatred for somebody like Drake? No. I think the lawsuit was a shock moment. Right? There was a shock moment where I went fully into judgment and I couldn't see Drake as a human being after that. Right? That's the real honesty of it. J. Cole's a different experience. I never looked at J. Cole in a different way. There's a lot of things around Drake where it's difficult, where it was difficult for me to empathize with that. Right? With J. Cole, it's more about what he was doing within the hip hop genre and the hip hop space and everything he was saying about this shit, like, and the way he was going about it. I thought that shit was whack. I still think it's whack. However, I think in reality, I can't just sit by and watch as I'm watching literally a blitz on the hip hop genre, bro. Like I'm gonna give y'all my honest opinion. I think, like, just like Jay-Z was saying, maybe not specifically to what he was saying, but in my mind, it's like, you have to be able to see this blitz against hip hop. I think they want to do to hip hop what they did to jazz and country. I think that, and rock and roll, I think they want hip hop gone. And I think that battle and all these things that taking place were centered around that taking place. This is why that battle means so much to me. Some people might not understand why I spent the last year and change talking about that battle. But that's why that battle meant so much to me, because I knew what was on the line. I still think the Empire, so to say, is looking to strike back and try it again. You feel me? So, and you can see it with all the narratives that's being built, the sides that's being taken. And I think that's why I'm like, right, it's a spiritual war. Now, this is my thing. There's a lot of conversation that was left on the table. There's a lot of conversations that was left on the table that I could have had with y'all, that I'm going to start having with y'all now. You know? So that's my whole thing about the I'm retired video. To basically sum all that up, that was the whole thing about the I'm retired thing. You know, it's not that I'm going to quit YouTube or nothing like that. It's that I'm quitting that. That's done with. I get to align with my purpose and walk in it and walk in my vision and stop hiding my heart. Stop hiding my perspective. Stop hiding all the gifts that I have to give, right? And minimizing myself and playing small, right? So that's what I'm saying. I also think that even with my music, right? the music I've been writing since I've been making this declaration, uh, like it's just different. You know what I mean? And I think I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm a musician. And every time I show y'all some shit, y'all kept telling me, like, bro, go all the way with the music. Go drop more music, drop more freestyles, drop more. But in reality, that disconnect between me and that Jalopy Bungus name, I think that's what I always had to wonder. I always had to figure out was like, what is wrong? Like, what is this disconnect between me and the music? Right? What is the disconnect? And I think it's the fact that what I realized before was like, I'm not consistent. I'm not working hard enough. I'm not all these different things that you create to, and then you create these workout, these ideas and all that different shit in order to combat that, but it still doesn't work. So what is it? It's not the work, it's an identity problem. It's an identity issue. That's what it is. I'm writing all this shit that's raw, that's real, that's from the heart, that's from the. But why can't I release it with the confidence and the power and consistently? It's because there's a disconnect in the identity. How do you pronounce your name? It's Jessahn. Jessahn. So that's my whole thing. He said K. Dot to Kendrick Lamar, Jalopy to Jessahn. You know, it's crazy. I like that thing popped up in my mind like years ago, but I would say like my will and my fight for my authenticity, it wasn't really as strong as I would have liked it to be, as to lean all the way. Now, of course, it took steps to get here. And there's gonna be more steps. There's gonna be more times when my authenticity is challenged. And there's probably gonna be more times where I fall short. But accepting that gives me a certain level of peace walking into this journey. Like, I'm ready for all the failure, all the mistakes, all the delays, but I'm also ready for all the blessings and all all of that. You know what I mean? I'm ready for all of that. So anything that comes with it. And this is another thing. In my mind, I create these scenarios that just be way worse than things actually are. Like, I honestly thought y'all would have a way different response. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why I convinced myself that like I was gonna get packed up. Like, you know what I mean? But no, I do know why. Because I didn't feel worthy of stepping into this timeline. So my mind was trying to convince me that there's nothing but negativity that's gonna come from this. I didn't feel like I was worth being Jessahn. You feel me? I felt like I had to earn it. But the thing is, you can't earn it. It's the same thing as like trying to earn, for all my people that believe, like, you know what I mean? Trying to earn God's forgiveness. You can't earn God's forgiveness. You can't earn God's forgiveness. It's been given to you. You know what I mean? You can't earn God's love, God's grace. It's been given to you. There's a level of peace that comes with that will allow you to not operate from fear. Now you just operating from having genuine relationship with the higher source. That's how I feel about changing my name. It's like, right, aligning with that frequency. That's how I feel about changing my name. It's like, now I can be honest about everything that I'm feeling because it's me. It's not Jalopy. Right? Like, that's the thing. Jalopy has this whole, you know, I've done this before. I've done these shows. There's a certain level of whatever that I gotta keep uphold. Jessahn doesn't need that. Jessahn doesn't need any of that. You know what I mean? So, and you know, I had content creators to Andy Penny. I had content creators hitting me up saying, like, you know, I feel that, like, I had content creators hit me up like, man, I feel like this feels like I needed to hear that. And that hit for me because I'm like, man, this is just proof once again that I usually be fucking wrong about how things are going to take place. I need to stop assuming and stop trusting that I know, right? Like, if I do this, then this is going to happen. No, I don't know shit. I don't know anything. Leave that for the theories, right? Leave that for the music theories and all that different shit. I can't do that in life, in my real life. I had to just go with what I'm aligned to do and allow the cards to play where they play. Stop worrying about getting hurt. Stop worrying about being abandoned. Stop worrying about people perceiving me a certain way. It doesn't matter. It don't matter, because for the people who need that message, that's more important than the people who don't fuck with that message. And matter of fact, the people who don't fuck with that message might need it too. You know? Right. There's a difference between intuition and discernment and paranoia and assumption. There's a difference. And that's what it comes down to. Lean not on your own understanding. Right. Let me read some of these super chats real quick. Shout out to It's Nate, man, for the super chat. Thank you. Hey, my man, I'm super grateful for your platform and insight. Continue to inspire and grow. Thank you for your voice, Jessahn. Hey, God bless. Have a good weekend, everyone. Yeah, man, that shit crazy. I feel like we really like, yeah, this it's just what, like, y'all don't know how long people have called me Jalopy. Like, my friends, my people in my real life don't even call me Jessahn. Like, y'all don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing for the platform, but like, it's people, most of the people in my real life don't even call me Jessahn. You know what I mean? It's Jalopy, all these different things. Like, you know, my inner immediate family and all that different shit, of course, but you know, it's low key a little surreal. It's surreal, kind of. Shout out to Marshall for the super chat. Is there a video in particular you've done that you no longer agree with? Let's see. Huh. I'm looking. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't really seeing them. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. I do got a video called Drake and Diddy might be the same person. Now, I'm gonna say this. Do I believe that Drake be on that weird shit? Absolutely. That's my truth. Right? But I feel like that was just like, come on. That was kind of, you gotta at least allow things to develop in a certain way before you start saying shit like that, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. Like, is that too far? That's where my mind started going. Like, was that too far? Right? But it is aligned with what I really think. Now, we can get into why Drake might be doing this stuff more. I mean, I did a video that explains it, right? Called Monsters Aren't Born, They're Created. And that was in response to the Diddy documentary. And I was basically humanizing Diddy in that video. A lot of people didn't like that. That's okay. But it was in a way of like not saying that Diddy is this great guy, but that, once again, monsters are not born. They're created, right? The experiences, the boom, boom, all these different things lead people to doing this. Some people grow past these things. Some people don't. and they lean into the survival, the guilt, the shame, the repeating behaviors. They lean into that, and it takes them down that road. That's the difference in life. All humans are going to be faced with these difficulties and boom, boom, but we all choose to go about them differently. But you never fucking know. You could be one event, one heartbreak, one death, one grief away from being at the front door of every temptation that you've ever experienced. And that's why it's important to lean into whatever it is you get to lean into that's going to take you to your authentic self, because who you really are. I truly don't think that if everybody had what they needed, if everybody had the love that they deserved, if everybody that had the relationships, the life that they were worthy of, if everybody understood that they were worthy, if everybody, we'd have a completely different world. And that's my real perspective on it. It doesn't mean that I agree or none of that, but it means that I can see the human in that person. The same way I can see the human in, rest in peace to my granddad. The same way I can see the human in my grandfather, and he was a killer. He was a drug dealer. He was all these different things. But when I was with my granddad, he was the most loving, down to earth, would do anything for me. You feel me? So it's like, it's not to approve of anything that my granddad did, but it's to recognize the human in him. The same way that, Jesus speaks of, the same way that the Bible, there's so many different scriptures in the Bible that it speaks of, right? And using what I've been learning, using the things that I've been learning in sermon and Bible study and all these different things, and actually applying them, not just going and just saying I follow this and not applying it to my life. And that might not be conducive to most people. That might not be a good thing to say to most people. But in this reality, in this timeline, that's not my concern. In the previous timeline, that was my concern. Maybe I shouldn't say this about that person. Maybe I shouldn't, because people will look at me and say, you're too forgiving. You're too merciful. But in this timeline, that's not my concern. I get to say what I get to say, and it's okay if you disagree and you feel a certain way about it. It's just proof that we here. So maybe those type of videos, I wonder, like, was I going too far, right, with the criticism and the judgment? Like, you can't just say that type of shit and not deliver some form of fruit within it. That's irresponsible to your own spirit and your own well-being and the people that are watching you. I believe that all of y'all are your own people. So I'm not a person that's like, I can get on here and make y'all think anything. But I can get y'all an experience where you were just in criticism now. And that might fuck around and affect your personal life. You know what I mean? Even unconsciously. So, like, for example, if you wake up every day and you watch my content all the time, and I drop 7 videos in a row where I'm criticizing, no fruit, there's no way that psychologically somebody isn't going to walk away from that video and start criticizing people in their personal life. You feel me? That's my whole thing. So maybe those type of videos. But honestly, the more I look at my videos, I might be being a little harsh on myself, but because honestly, no, I look at these videos and I'm like, would I take this back outside of the delivery? No. Nah. It's just the delivery. Yeah, I really believed the stuff that I created and what I said, but I knew that I wasn't delivering in a way where in line with my vision for the channel. That's all it is. The premise I believed in. The way I gave it was not authentic some of the times. Like, because authentically, I would give you the fruit. Authentically, I would give you both sides of it. Authentically, I would tell you, I don't fuck with this, and this ain't it. But at the same time, blah, 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 blah. That's really what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I was only giving y'all a piece of who I am, right? And that's the piece that's able to see these things and see these human behaviors and have a good idea of what's going on. But the other half of me is also somebody that humanizes and empathizes with that human being. That's my truth. So yeah, a lot of this stuff I still agree with, I still align with. You know what I mean? It's just like the delivery. That's all. Boom. It's about your heart. If your heart is aligned, then the message won't be contaminated. Exactly. Exactly. What's good with the trenches? I actually just I just got Easy to Block Captain number. We've been talking, so it's looking like something coming up for sure. And I got another battle that's about to be announced soon too. And I'm changing my battle name, gonna be Jessahn, all that. We changing everything. Crazy thing is, I feel like a lot of us have already been aligned to you in the space you are moving into. That's real, divinely. I appreciate that. Real shit. Thank you. LaQuisha, appreciate you for the super chat. You scared me when I thought you were really retiring. Yeah, like, so obviously I wanted to give y'all an experience, right? I wanted to give y'all just the experience of like storytelling and the experience of, you know, all of that while giving y'all the fruit of what I'm going through too. So I really wanted to give y'all like just this cinematic type of experience authentically, because, you know, I plan on writing books, I plan on doing a lot of things, and being like taking ownership of me being dramatic. You know what I mean? Like taking ownership of me being dramatic and directing that to the things that it could benefit, right? So the I'm retiring part was to create that, oh, what's going on, right? But then take you down something that could really have you maybe reflect on your own life and reflect on the people around you. Boom, boom, boom. So that was my thought process in doing that. Now, I was hoping more people will watch the full video. You know what I mean? That's why I put it in the beginning, like, just please watch the full video. But I always knew that, you know what? This is the funny thing. This is the funny thing about divine timing. If I would have put that video out when I initially thought about putting that video out, I would have deleted the channel, like off the face of YouTube. That's what's crazy about the divine timing. Like, it was probably purposeful that I didn't make the video earlier. Because when I first thought about it, I was still smoking weed. I was still not in a clear mindset. So once I had, you know, in the mindset I am today, I'm able to see it clearly and make my decisions clearly. So it's probably best that it came out now, because now I'm not going to delete the channel. I'm just going to leave it there and go on this new journey with y'all. You know what I mean? And we all go together versus me deleting the channel and go and do something new and boom, boom. And you know what I mean? So that's really my whole thing, you know? So my bad to everybody that I scared, you know what I mean? Lost some subscribers, lost a good amount of subscribers, which is fine. So from that perspective, it's like, yeah, that's my whole thing. You know what I mean? So, but hey, man, in 5 minutes now, I want to say I am going to be leaning deeply into the music a lot more. The content going to keep being the content, but you're going to be seeing a lot more music. And from the perspective of like, fuck the results and fuck all of that, man. Like, we just go, you know what I mean? We just go and create for the sake of creating, for the sake of putting it out, and for the sake of connecting with people. So with that being said, I'm gonna read this last super chat. Blessing your new journey. Proud of you, fam. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, for real. With that being said, though, for everybody, when we get into the rest of the Jay-Z album reactions, ASAP. We dropping La Familia, the La Familia reactions. I might drop it today. It'll be today or tomorrow. I wasn't gonna react to La Familia, but they was telling me you have to, so I was like, all right, bet. But yeah, long story short, though, I do want to say, thank you to everybody that's with me. Thank you to everybody, like y'all, like, man, I love y'all, bro. Like, real shit. Like, just to be able to come on here and talk like this, and then hear y'all like this, and see y'all like this. Like, y'all have no idea what this is doing for me, bro. Like, I feel like it hasn't even fully hit me yet. Like, but there's been multiple times on this live where, like, I'm on the verge of shedding tears. Even last night, on the verge of shedding tears and shit. Like, because this is surreal for me. So, I think y'all gonna be able to hear the music in that too. When the music come out, it's gonna be raw. It's gonna be raw and extremely raw. And I hope y'all like that type of music, because that's all y'all getting from me from here on out. And I'm talking about raw from real perspective, real deep inner work that's coming out and being told honest vulnerability. Things that I'm afraid to say that I'm gonna say. That type of shit. And in 3 minutes, I got a new music video for y'all, just to show y'all what I'm talking about. You feel me? I dropped a new song on SoundCloud too. You feel me? We taking it back to SoundCloud. I will get stuff on hey, JR Oss, I'm way ahead of you. Just wait 2 minutes, all right? But yeah, new music video right on the way. You know what I'm saying? In the next 2 minutes, go right to my page. You feel me? Go right to my page and check it out. Music on SoundCloud. I'll get on. I'm gonna fuck with Even and see what's up with Even. But for music on my SoundCloud, the link to that song will be in my SoundCloud. And yeah, I wanted to drop this as a testimony to the new journey, and I got a lot more coming for y'all very soon. Very soon. Okay? So yeah, man. Y'all go right to my page. Get ready for this music video that's about to drop right now. And then y'all just tell me all your inner thoughts. Tell me your experience with the video, what it made you think about, whatever. And this video and this song is an ode to the new journey. I'm shedding deeply in this song. So yeah, man. I'm gonna catch y'all. Love y'all to the fullest. And yeah, check out this new video, man. I'm gonna catch y'all.